As a business analyst or BA, you might have heard of a practice called shared understanding of requirements and why it is crucial for everyone involved in a project to have a shared understanding of what needs to be done. Let's understand this concept in a layman's language. Now, imagine a college setting and imagine you are working on a big group project for one of your classes. You know, right? How when you and your friends plan a group project, everyone seems to have a slightly different idea of what the final result should look like, right? That's pretty much how it goes with business analysis too. If everyone has a different idea of what the final project should look like, you are going to end up with a mess. That is, if one person thinks the project is about one thing and another thinks it is something completely different, then it can turn into a mess, of course, right? The same thing can happen in the business world, and the same concept applies in business analysis, and that is where a BA comes in to save the day. As a BA, your job is not just to figure out what needs to be done and write it down. Even the best, most detailed documents are useless if you are the only one who understands them. You need to make sure everyone involved, like the designers, developers, and testers, has the same clear picture of what needs to be achieved. This shared understanding is crucial for a successful project. Imagine this. Try to explain a tree to your audience. In their minds, different people see different things in that diagram. One person sees a sturdy oak tree, another sees a Christmas tree, and someone else imagines a fruit tree. They all understand tree, but they have a different versions in their heads. In real projects, it gets even more complicated because people don't always use the same ways to express their ideas. One person might write a long document, another might draw a flow chart, and someone else might just sketch on a whiteboard. This leads to misunderstandings and gaps in communication. Now, here is a catch. Think about the outcomes of business analysis. Sure, you will create detailed documents, process maps, and other technical stuff, but there is something even more important that isn't always written down. That is, ensuring everyone involved in the project understands the requirements in the same way. If you have spent hours understanding the business, talking to experts, and putting everything together, everyone else must get it too. Imagine you have done all this hard work and you have a solid grasp of the requirements. But what about the others? If they don't get it, all your effort could be wasted. It's your responsibility as a BA to bridge that gap and make sure everyone has a consistent understanding. That is what is called shared understanding. Shared understanding doesn't just happen on its own. You have to build it gradually. Communication is only as good as what the other person understands. As conveyed earlier, what you think is clear might be interpreted differently by someone else. So, you need to create a context model, use common terminology, and explain things in multiple ways. Use different tools and techniques to communicate your analysis. Everyone absorbs information differently. Some might understand better with diagrams, others with text or structured formats. Experiment it with screen mockups, storyboards, process flows, and other methods to see what works best for your team. As a BA, you need to articulate clearly the things to communicate the things clearly. And for that clear communication to happen, only clear documentation won't be sufficient. You as a BA conduct review sessions, workshops, one-on-one sessions frequently and iteratively. As a BA, you should be a people person. So talking to the people and working with the team should become a second nature of a BA. So review and validate the requirements constantly. Use group and individual reviews, role plays, and demonstrations to ensure everyone is on the same page. Keep revisiting, refining, and reinforcing the key points until there is a shared understanding. In the beginning, you will have various opinions and interpretations. Your job is to guide everyone to the same understanding. It involves a lot of iterations, reviewing, revisiting, refining, and reinforcing. However, the goal is to ensure everyone understands the future solution and requirements the same way. Remember, it's not just about you knowing the requirements. Your team and key stakeholders should also be involved in the development of your documentation or requirements. With this, they will always have the context, and this helps everyone to relate things better. This shared understanding helps to ensure that when the project is being developed, there are fewer misunderstandings and everyone knows exactly what is expected. So, always the knowledge must be shared. You, as a BA, should not keep things secret and suddenly one day you reveal it. This must not happen. As a BA, you are more like a communication satellite, connecting and sharing information. Everyone should have access to knowledge, and it's your role to create an environment where information flows freely. Now, with this practice of shared understanding, can we develop perfect or 100% correct requirements? Here is the thing. Getting a set of perfect requirement is almost impossible. Why? Because everyone involved, be it managers, developers, users, stakeholders, business people, has their own perspective on what the project should achieve. So the idea of perfect requirements where everyone is perfectly aligned and there are no misunderstandings is a bit of a myth. But don't worry, the goal is to get as close to perfect as possible by making sure everyone has a shared understanding. This is where collaboration comes in, as I described so far. But it is not always possible to achieve a state where everyone agrees on a solution. This is very important. Instead, everyone decides on a solution or requirements by analyzing and comparing various options of solution or iteratively gathering and eliciting requirements and bringing it to a matured state. You do this by creating a common picture that everyone can agree on. This might be a conceptual diagram that the whole team builds together. It's like drawing out the project's roadmap so everyone knows where they are headed and what the destination looks like. By working together on this shared picture, everyone, project managers, developers, users, can visualize the same end goal. So, the key takeaway is that while perfect requirements might not exist, getting close to perfect or 100% correct requirements means ensuring everyone has a shared understanding of what needs to be done. What do you think? Do comment.